Hello Recruit, and welcome to an Astroneer Academy Extra for completing the Gateway Fast Travel Network mission chain. 2 weeks ago, we identified gateway chambers and the roles they play in the Gateway Fast Travel Network. Last week, we discussed the gateway engines and their role. There is still one mission waiting in this chain, however. There's something out there. Before we go any further, I want to warn you that we are going to once again be discussing some pretty big spoilers. If you prefer to solve a good mystery on your own, you may want to skip today's course. If you are still here, I'm going to assume that you are okay with spoilers, so let's continue. If you open your mission log, you will find that the There's Something Out There mission requires that you visit the unidentified satellite that has been revealed in the solar system. You may have already spotted it as you were traveling from planet to planet to activate all of the gateway engines last week, but if not, let's go find it. We're looking for an unidentified satellite and, well, satellites orbit things. So let's jump into a shuttle and head out to the full view of the Silva planetary system. There is nothing new orbiting any of the planets, but there is something new just above the sun. That's it. That is the unidentified satellite, only its description isn't actually helping us solve any mysteries here. I suppose we just have to select it as our destination and travel there. Upon arrival, you are greeted with something altogether new and yet somehow oddly familiar. While this structure is unlike anything we have seen before, there are some elements we have come to know. Even from orbit, it is fairly easy to see that this unidentified satellite is made of the same unclassified mineral as we have seen through the Gateway Fast Travel Network. We also find landing sites similar to those we find on planets and moons, though instead of being labeled as natural landing sites, they are simply labeled as station. Given that this is a fairly small destination, you can select any of the 4 landing sites you wish. Now, let's explore this mysterious place. Before we investigate too closely, let's stop for a moment and appreciate the beauty of what we see. Exit your shuttle and you will complete the mission, There's Something Out There. You can claim your mission rewards of 2,500 bytes from any mission log. But those bytes can wait because just look at that view. We are just above the star of the Silva planetary system, so we are treated to a view of the planets orbiting that, when I saw it for the first time, left me speechless. Without exaggeration, I could easily stand up here all day and simply watch the planets pass by. But we have a course to finish today, so let's explore. Starting from the center, we find 7 patterned concentric circles with a wedge shape interrupting the pattern. In this wedge-shaped area, there are 7 inverted pyramids, each with a small Tier 1 slot on top, and each of these small platforms display a different planet identifier. If you walk near the edge of the unidentified satellite, you might think you could fall off into the void of space. Don't worry though, as you get right up to the edge, you will see there is a wavy fuchsia energy field protecting you from falling off. While it is possible to escape this shield, I would not recommend it. In fact, Exodynamics has thought of this, which means your jetpack, jump jets, and even the VTOL simply do not work up here. But to satisfy your curiosity of what this entire structure looks like up close from all angles, I will give you a brief tour as we move our discussion forward. Before we move on to what this place is, let's talk about what it is not. For starters, it is not a place you need to worry about oxygen. Despite being seemingly exposed to outer space itself, this unidentified satellite is providing oxygen. You don't need to worry about tethers or oxygenators or anything else like that while you are here. This is also not a place where you could establish a gas outpost. There is no atmosphere, therefore, there are no atmospheric resources to collect. This is also not a place where your terrain tool will function. That one should be fairly obvious since there is no visible terrain to manipulate. Also, while some astroneers have done so, it is not really a good location for a base. You would have to transport everything you need for a base here, and if you want to process any resources, you would have to bring those along as well. So then, what is this place? Well, one of the 5 outer platforms that are connected via the glowing ramps might provide a clue, but we need to do something first. Last week, I mentioned you will want more than one geometric triptych from each planet's gateway engine. We know that this location was previously a dim node when viewed from the oddstone of a gateway engine. Yet by simply traveling here, a new oddstone has appeared on another platform, and we can now travel from the satellite to the gateway engine of any activated planet. But traveling here also opened up a new mission through the looking glass, which requires us to place the triptych from each planet onto its corresponding platform. So let's place one of the geometric triptychs into the slot on top of its corresponding platform by matching the symbols. Unlike the gateway engine, your geometric triptych is not consumed. Instead, if you match the planet identifier symbols correctly, a large semicircular ring is illuminated and begins spinning within its corresponding concentric circle on the surface of the unidentified satellite. If the oddstone did not previously appear when you first landed on the satellite, placing one of the triptychs will cause it to appear. When it does, you have successfully activated the unidentified satellite and completed the Gateway Fast Travel Network. Selecting the input to gaze into this oddstone once again introduces us to something entirely new, yet somehow familiar. Like all oddstone maps, the bright sphere indicates our current position on the unidentified satellite, with the star at the center of the civil planetary system just below. Beyond that, we can see all 5 planets orbiting the star and the 2 moons orbiting their home planet. If you have activated the gateway engine of a planet, it will appear with a fuchsia coloration and be identified as a bright node. If you have not, then the planet will be a grayish color and identified as a dim node. Each planet and moon features a planetary indicator, the symbol that we have seen on gateway chambers, triptychs, and other locations, just in case you have not yet memorized where each planet is located in relation to the center of this planetary system. There is another facet of this oddstone that we have only recently identified. If you approach the oddstone from this perspective, the actual planets that you see orbiting around the sun in the civil planetary system will line up perfectly with their hologram representation within the oddstone map. It is a very small detail that has gone unnoticed by a lot of astroneers. If you are struggling to identify which planet is which within the oddstone map, you can use this alignment of the holograms to the actual planets to help you with that identification. You may have to spend a few moments as you wait for a planet to enter your view, but it can help in a pinch. Selecting one of the bright nodes on this oddstone will teleport you away, with your destination being the gateway engine of the planet you selected. From the gateway engine, you can teleport to one of the other bright node surface elevations. Then you can teleport right back down to the gateway engine, then back up to the unidentified satellite, where you can then select a new planet to travel to. With the Gateway Fast Travel Network complete, you can travel nearly anywhere in the civil planetary system within seconds. There is one caveat to this form of travel, however. You will always be traveling light. You cannot bring anything with you that does not fit within your backpack. So if you had dreams of building a cool outpost base up here and wanted to bring the necessary objects via the Gateway Fast Travel Network, sorry, but it is not going to work. You'll need to use your shuttle for that task. We have not finished with the unidentified satellite, however. The final mission in the mission chain for the Gateway Fast Travel Network is through the looking glass that requires we place the geometric triptych from each planet onto its corresponding platform. As you place each one, additional semicircle rings begin to appear. When you place the final one, something special happens. A short piece of music plays, and at the very center of the unidentified satellite, the final oddstone appears. This oddstone is unique amongst all others we have encountered so far. Instead of having an option to gaze, this oddstone presents us with the option to activate something. I know you're tempted to hold down that input right now to see what happens, but let me give you a quick pro tip first. This may not make much sense at the moment, but before you activate that oddstone, head back to your shuttle and take off to the planetary view. fly back to Silva, and then land at your original base. Now, make your way to the nearest gateway chamber, teleport to the gateway engine, then teleport back to the unidentified satellite. Once you do, you are ready to activate the final oddstone. You press and hold the indicated input, and well, you will have to see this for yourself. We have spoiled enough for you today, and this is something that you really need to experience in person. Once these events have unfolded, however, you will find yourself back in your original starting shelter on Silva. What just happened? Well, I am still not 100% certain about that to this day, but I do know it involved a burrito. I have theories about what it all means, but to avoid any spoilers, I will save those for another day. If you wish to discuss them with me though, then visit the link in the description of this video for the Vainglorious Discord. Before we wrap up today, you need to claim your reward for completing the Through the Looking Glass mission. Head over to the mission log on your landing pad and collect your rewards of 5,000 bytes and 3 QTRTGs. After everything you have witnessed as a result of today's course, you may be thinking to yourself, that's it, we're done, right? Well, no recruit, we are far from finished. There are currently 167 missions, and we have only completed 91 of them so far. There are still many adventures to be had and mysteries to solve. We are just getting started. You have, however, completed your second quarter of Astroneer Academy courses today, and you should take a moment to celebrate that milestone. This quarter, you have learned about space travel, advanced resources, jet-powered transportation, base building, glastropods, and the Gateway Fast Travel Network. Next quarter, we will begin exploring some of the achievements associated with the Astroneer training simulation, and I assure you that Please Shibe will not be able to hack us again, along with investigating trains, automation, custom and creative configurations for the training simulation itself, along with finding some fun collectibles, and even saying hello to yet another new but mysterious friend. Before we get there though, we will once again be going on a break. We are still creating the text for our third quarter of courses, and that requires a lot of time and hard work. If you would like to help speed up the project, be sure to visit the description of today's video course to find out how you can become involved in the creation of future Astroneer Academy courses. It does not matter if you are brand new to the training simulation or if you are a seasoned veteran with several years of experience. We need your help. More people helping means we can get the next quarter completed quicker and our video courses will resume sooner. It has been our pleasure to bring this series to you, and we cannot wait to see you again when our courses resume. But until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to keep looking to the stars.